Welcome to everyone. I hope that you all are feeling well and healthy and doing your works properly. Children, in my previous lecture you have studied that is about percentage composition of the compound, molar mass, including molecular mass, that is formula unit mass, and also atomic mass unit. I hope your concept is clear, and in today's lecture we are going to study one more important point of this very chapter, that is law of chemical combination. So students, when two or more elements combine, they form compounds. So formation of compounds take place, or how these elements combine, they are governed by a certain laws, and these laws are called law of chemical combination. And there are 5 laws of chemical combination which are as follow. First is law of conservation of mass. Second, law of definite or constant proportion. Third, law of multiple proportion. Next, Gay-Lussac's law of volume, and last is Avogadro's law. So, deal one by one. So, first come on the point, that is what is the law of conservation of mass. So, this law was given by English scientist who is also famous as a father of chemistry, namely Antonio Lavoisier. He gave a rule that is called law of conservation of mass, and according to this rule, the total mass of the products is the same as the total mass of the reactant. And this is only possible if the matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during any change, that is means either physical change or chemical change, is called law of conservation of mass. Once again I am repeating the statement of this very law. According to this law, the total mass of product is the same as that of the reactants, and that is possible only if the matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during any change, means either physical or chemical change. So this law is called law of conservation of mass. This law can also be stated as there is no loss or gain in mass of this substance during physical or chemical change. Other statement of this law is there is no loss or gain in mass of the substance during any physical or chemical change. Means that if any physical or chemical change occurs, the mass of the substance remains the same. Alright, this is the statement of this point. For example, you are knowing magnesium carbonate, this is MgCO3. When it gets heated, means when it decomposes, then that will form magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide as such. Am I right, students? So, according to this law, the mass of the reactant should be equal to the mass of the product, and there should be no change in the mass during the change, either physical or chemical. Okay, so you are knowing that the mass of this magnesium carbonate will be what? That is magnesium 24, carbon 12, oxygen is this one. So this may be perhaps 84. Suppose representing in gram. This is 24 plus 12, 36 plus 48 is 84. And here MgO is what? That is 24 plus 16. That becomes 40 gram. And this is CO2, that is 12 plus 2 into 16, that is become what? 44. So 40 plus 44 is 84. So in both the sides, means either in a reactant side or in product side, the mass is the same. And that is the statement. There is no gain or loss in the mass of the substance during any, means either physical change or chemical change. Okay? Similar example, you can put one more. Suppose carbon burns with air, means carbon going to react with air, result the formation of CO2 as such. This is carbon reacting with oxygen, resulting the formation of CO2. So in that case also, they will follow this law. As here, the mass of the reactant, this is 12 gram carbon. Oxygen here what? 16 into 2, that is what? 32 gram. So 32 plus 12, total mass of the reactant become 44 gram. And here also in CO2, that is 12 plus 32 is 44 gram. So mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product, means there is no change in the mass of the substance, each in accordance with the law of conservation of mass. Yes, children? This law can also be verified experimentally, and that will be done when we will meet in offline classes, and that will be accomplished in laboratory. Children, okay? Till then, wait. We hope we will meet and accomplish such type of experiments. Okay? Next law is law of definite or constant proportion. So, children, this law was given by Joseph Prout, and that is perhaps in 1799. This first law was, that is 1774. By Antonio Lavoisier, and that is given by Joseph Prout. This law is given by Joseph Prout in 1799, and according to this law, any substance, the statement of law of definite or constant proportion is that any substance which is present, once again I am repeating the definition of law of constant proportion, in a chemical substance, elements are always present in a definite proportion by mass. Listen the statement carefully. According to this law, in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in a definite proportion by mass. Means the chemical composition of the compound is definite. For example, you are knowing water, that is formula H2O, that is composed of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. That is composed of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So according to the statement, they always combine together in a definite proportion by mass. Means here there is 1 into 2, this is the ratio. 1 into 2 means 1 is the atomic mass of hydrogen and there are 2 atoms. So 1 into 2 and that is here 16. Suppose representing in gram, so this is 16 gram. And the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen in water is what? That is 2 is to 16. And simply it can be written as 1 is to 8. So means that in water, the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen will be always in the ratio 1 is to 8 by mass. Alright? Once again, I am repeating the example. Children, as you are knowing that the formula of water is H2O, and one more point, the pure water obtained by any source, that is either by sea, either by pond, either by river or by rain, and whatever means whatever by which water is obtained, they always composed of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen, and when combined together, their ratio of proportion will be always 1 is to 8 by mass. So this is in accordance of law of constant, or it means this is definite or constant, so all is definite here. I am taking one more simple example. You are knowing that is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is formed by the combination of carbon and oxygen. And in CO2 there is one carbon and two oxygen, and they are here in together. What is the ratio of CO2? That is 12 is to 32. Alright, means 2 into 16, that is 32. In simplest form, that can be written as 3 is to 8 dividing by 4. 4 3 is 12 and 4 8 is 32. So the ratio, simpler ratio becomes 3 is to 8. So according to this rule, whatever the source by which CO2 is obtained, no matter, they always combine together in the ratio 3 is to 8 by mass. Either CO2 is obtained by burning of carbon and oxygen, or it is obtained by, that is, decomposition of calcium carbonate, CaCO3 gets decomposed forming CO2, or by heating baking soda as such. So and this one. So meaning of this rule is that whatever the source by which we are obtaining CO2, no matter, they always combine in a definite proportion of mass. So they are always combined means carbon and oxygen they are going to combine in the ratio 12 is to 32 and convert into a simple ratio 3 is to 8. So means that whatever the source by which CO2 is obtained, no matter, they always combine in the ratio of 3 is to 8 by mass, and that is in the accordance of law of definite or law of constant proportion. Clear, children? Next stage, what is law of multiple proportion? So children, this law is given by John Dalton in 1803. This very law, that is law of multiple proportion, is given by John Dalton. In 1803, and according to this law, if two elements combine together, according to this law, if two elements combine together and forms more than one compound, then mass of one element which combines with the definite mass of other element are in the ratio of simple whole number. Once again I am repeating the statement of this law of multiple proportion. So children, according to this law, if two elements combine together forms more than one compound, then mass of one element that combines with the fixed mass of other element are in the ratio of simple whole number. So this is the statement of multiple proportion. For example, you are knowing that when hydrogen and oxygen combines, they forms namely two compounds, one is water and other is hydrogen peroxide. Like as this is hydrogen reacting with oxygen, resulting the formation of water, and in the same way hydrogen reacts with oxygen, result the formation of H2O2 named hydrogen peroxide. So what is happening here, students? Listen, according to the statement, the mass of one element which combines with the mass of that fixed mass of other element are always in a that is what? That is in a simple whole number. What is the meaning? Here see, let the mass of hydrogen is 2 gram. Okay, 1 hydrogen, 1 gram, 2 hydrogen, so this will become 2 gram. Okay, similarly here half O2 means that is half into 16 into 2 and that is gram, so that is cancel out. So mass of oxygen here 16 gram and here the mass of that is what? That is 1 into 2 plus 16, the mass of water is 18 gram, and they are also in the accordance of law of conservation of mass, means mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of product. But here we have to show how they are going to combine and what the proportion is there. So here hydrogen, oxygen means 2 gram of hydrogen combines with 16 gram of oxygen, result the formation of 18 gram of water. In the similar way, here that is 2 gram hydrogen combines with that is 32 gram of oxygen, resulting the formation of that is 34 gram of hydrogen peroxide. So students, see here, in this reaction, the mass of oxygen that is 16 gram and 32 gram. See clearly, the mass of oxygen that is 16 gram and 32 gram combines with a definite mass of that is hydrogen means 2 gram, and they are in the simple ratio that is 16 is to 32, or you can say 1 is to 2. Once again I repeating the example. When hydrogen and oxygen elements combine together, forming suppose two compounds, one is water, other is H2O2, and their ratio of formation is in such a way, means they are represented in grams. So 2 gram of hydrogen combines with 16 gram of oxygen, result the formation of 18 gram of water. Similarly, 2 gram of hydrogen and 32 gram of oxygen reacting together forms, that is 34 gram of, that is hydrogen peroxide. So in this children, that is 16 gram of oxygen and 32 gram. The mass of oxygen here is what? That is 16 into 32. That reacts with a definite mass of hydrogen, that is 2 gram. And they are in the ratio 16 into 32, and that can be simply written, that is 1:2. So that represents the law of multiple proportion. Such type of examples you can take some more, that is CO and CO2, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide also possess the law of multiple proportion. Similarly, the compounds like nitric oxide and nitrogen peroxide or trioxide also that will follow the law of multiple proportion. Let us read. Next rule is Gay-Lussac's law of volume. What is the statement? This law was given by English scientist Gay-Lussac, and that was in the reference of volume. So it is called Gay-Lussac's law of volume. So children, according to this law, whenever gases combines, according to this law, whenever gases combine, they do so in volume. They do so in volume which having a ratio that is just equal to the product of reactant and products. Once again I am repeating the statement. According to Gay-Lussac's law, whenever gases reacts, alright, means just I will explain this law by giving a proper example. So according to this law, whenever two or more gases reacts, they combine in a simple whole ratio in accordance with the volume, and that will be either in reactant side or in product side. They bear a definite ratio. For example, suppose hydrogen gas reacts with chlorine gas in the presence of sunlight, resulting the formation of hydrogen chloride gas. Alright? So according to this rule, the volume of this, that is one volume of this hydrogen is what? One volume of hydrogen reacting with one volume of chlorine and resulting the formation of two volume of hydrogen chloride. So ratio among them is what? 1:1:2. This is the meaning of the law. From example, it is clear that when hydrogen and chlorine gases react together in the presence of sunlight, resulting the formation of hydrogen chloride gas, and here in this reaction, it is very clear that one volume of hydrogen reacts with one volume of chlorine, resulting the formation of two volume of, that is hydrogen chloride, and they are in the ratio, that is 1:1:2. Okay. Other example, one simple example I am also taking. Suppose nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas reacting together in a certain condition, resulting the formation of ammonia gas. So in the same way, here one volume of nitrogen and 3 volume of hydrogen reacting together, resulting the formation of 2 volume of ammonia. So what is the ratio become? Ratio is to 1 is to 3 is to 2. So this is in accordance with the Gay-Lussac's law of volume. Okay. Next law, children, Avogadro law. This is a very important law. And what is the statement of this law? This law states that at normal temperature and pressure, the volume of the gas is directly proportional to the number of moles. Once again, I am repeating the statement of this very law. According to this law, at normal temperature and pressure, the volume of the gas is directly proportional to the number of moles, or you can say at constant T and P, temperature and pressure, the volume of the gas is directly proportional to the number of moles. If V represent volume, N represent number of moles, so that is accordance with the Avogadro law, and you can say this V upon N is K, where K is a constant called Avogadro constant. So children, this is all about the law of chemical combination, and must remember them with example. And this chapter is now finished, and I hope that other part of the chapter and this law also is taught by your previous teacher. So in next lecture I will start new chapter, that is second chapter, that is atomic structure. Understand? And if I have any doubt, you ask me without any hesitation. So that's all today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.